You know, I've heard a lot of stories over the years. Let me tell you about this one. A while back, I shared a story about a woman caught between her husband and her family. Her mother had moved in with them, and when inheritance came into the picture, everything changed. The mother decided to leave it all to her son. Her daughter got nothing. The husband, understandably frustrated after months of supporting his mother-in-law, asked his wife to have her mom move out. People had strong opinions. Some said he was heartless. Others said he was absolutely right to draw a line. Well, the update came in, and it's not the resolution anyone was hoping for. Let's talk about what happened next. The husband and wife didn't walk away. They didn't stop helping. Instead, they spent 3 to 4 months renovating the mother-in-law's home, the one she and her son would eventually return to. They hired contractors, coordinated everything, found tenants, got the place rented out. Months of labor, months of stress. For their efforts, they received about $500. Now, the husband made it clear he wasn't doing this for money. He genuinely wanted to help. But here's what gets under the skin. While they were doing all of this, the brother-in-law, the one who inherited everything, was nowhere to be found. When the wife would bring it up to her mother, saying, "Your son should be the one doing this, it's going to be his house," the mother would talk to him. And his response, "Well, no one told me to do it." Think about that for a moment. There's a real human need here that's worth examining. This isn't just about money or fairness. It's about what happens when one person carries the weight while another floats through life untouched by responsibility. The husband wasn't asking for gratitude. He was asking for his wife's family to see what was happening, to acknowledge the imbalance. Now, there were a couple of small wins. The mother-in-law and brother-in-law started paying rent to stay with them. That's something. And the brother finally started taking his mom to work, which meant the wife could come home earlier, less exhausted, less resentful. They got to see each other again. Small steps forward. But here's where it gets complicated. The original plan, the one everyone seemed to agree on, was for the brother to return his portion of the inheritance to his mother. She had almost no retirement savings. Giving it back would help her make mortgage payments, live comfortably in her later years. It made sense, it felt fair. Except it didn't happen. The mother-in-law kept her portion, the brother kept his. The wife, still nothing. And here's the part that stings. The brother's share sits in a checking account earning 0 interest. No investment. No plan. Just sitting there while his net worth remains nearly 10 times theirs, and they continue doing everything he should be doing. Notice what's actually driving this. It's worth looking at. If they'd known he was going to keep the money, they would have asked the family to move back to their own home, or at least sent the brother back. But by the time this became clear, tenants were already locked into a 12-month lease. They were stuck. The mother-in-law reassured them they were getting some inheritance through the rent payments. As if that was the same thing. The husband kept helping with paperwork, getting their lives in order, because at least the rent made him feel less used. But the frustration was still there, simmering beneath the surface. Here's what people might not understand. This isn't about being jealous of the inheritance. It's about watching someone live stress-free, playing video games all day, while you're drowning in the logistics of keeping their future intact. It's about doing the work that should be theirs, with no recognition, no reciprocity, no fairness. And in that silence, there's so much being left unsaid. The wife finally went directly to her brother. She didn't ask for half. She didn't demand an equal split. She asked for whatever he thought was fair. She laid it out plainly. "We've bent over backwards doing everything you should have been doing. What do you think is right?" Every time she asked, his answer was the same. No. Now, even if they had told him to do these things, he wouldn't have done them. The house needed work immediately. His mother was losing money every month it sat empty. Waiting for him to grow up and take charge wasn't an option, so they did it, because someone had to. And this is where the story takes on a deeper weight. Through conversations with her mother, the wife learned something. The father, before he passed, had left the inheritance structured this way intentionally, not because the son deserved more, but as a test to see if he would share it with his sister, a test to see if he would use it to take care of his mother, a way of asking, "Will you do the right thing?" The mother-in-law had gone from believing her son deserved it all to quietly hoping he would step up, hoping he would prove himself worthy of the responsibility. But he didn't. There's something really vulnerable happening underneath all of this. This isn't just about money or houses or who gets what. It's about what we owe each other as family. It's about the invisible labor that holds everything together and what happens when one person refuses to carry any of it. The husband didn't want to be a martyr. He didn't want applause. He just wanted his wife's family to see what was happening and care enough to make it right. And when they didn't, when her brother kept saying no, the weight of that rejection settled over everything. This is the moment where everyone's just trying to protect themselves. The mother protects her son by staying silent. The son protects his comfort by refusing accountability. And the wife and husband, they're left holding the pieces, wondering how much more they're supposed to give before someone notices. I don't know how this story ends. The update cuts off mid-sentence, as if even the storyteller ran out of words. But I think about the couple a lot. I think about what it costs to keep showing up for people who won't show up for you. And maybe that's the real takeaway here. Fairness isn't just about money. It's about effort, respect, and seeing the people who love you clearly enough to honor what they give. At the end of the day, we're all just trying to feel less alone. And when the people closest to us refuse to meet us halfway, that loneliness cuts deeper than any financial loss ever could. If you've ever been the one doing everything while someone else coasts, drop a comment. Let me know how you handled it. And if you're still figuring it out, you're not alone. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one. Title suggestions primary: he got the inheritance and did nothing while we did everything alt 1. My brother-in-law kept it all and we're still doing his job alt 2. She asked for whatever was fair. He said no every time. Alt 3, the inheritance was a test. He failed.